はい、こんにちは。ディスコエリジウムザ・ファイナルカット続きをプレイしていきます。遺体を木から下ろしてくれたはず。ちゃんと下ろしてくれたよね。雑。雑だなぁ。食うののクソショーが始まるぞ。まあちょっと食うのも気になるが。
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side.
よし、下ろされてる。より控えめに喜ぶ。
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy.
いつでも被害者の現場検視を始められる。よし。その前に、アンロック。両親の王国。これを内面化しよう。あとスロットは1、2、3、4、5、6。6個か。それ以上にこうあるよね。何これなんて言うんだっけ？思考か。思考めっちゃあるな。まあ、全部取れるとは思ってないけど。あれまだポイントあんの？あれポイント。まだポイントあるんだ。意外と使うの百科事典内陸帝国。百科事典。あげようか。よし。ミスターメジャーヘッドはいい仕事した。現場検視？
Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue. We are on number 3.
なるほど。次に進む。
The fuck are they on about? Cop's gonna cut his shit up.
他に誰か呼ばないのか？医者とか。
No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain, from autopsy to cleanup to social work, everything.
また刑事という名誉ある肩書きだって？
An honor and a burden attached to your rank once you've proven yourself able, usually after 5 to 8 years of field work. Mine is lieutenant detective.
ああ、まるで自分が刑事みたいな気分になってきた。
You are. Your station would not have assigned you on this case if you weren't. Now, the way I see it, it's either this, or we complete the initial interviews. We already met Evrard, that only leaves the Wild Pines representative. There's one in town, negotiating the strike. She could have information.
そうだ、ワイルドパインズの代表。誰なんだ？どこにいるんだ？そこだよな。検視を片付けるかもしくは最初の聞き込みを完了させるかのどっちか。時間なんてどうでもいい。検視を始めよう。まあ今目の前にあることをやってこう。ここを避ける理由は今ないな。ワイルドパインズの情報欲しいな。
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
その前に現場検視ってのは何だ？
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
手を突っ込むとするか。
There truly is a time for everything, even for yellow gardening gloves. However, they are lacking hygienically.
あ、やっぱ園芸用手袋しといて正解だったな。最小限どういう意味だ？
I mean when I need you to. Until then, I should handle physical contact, and you should take notes.
なるほど。用紙を埋めていく。あ、そっちの方が楽でいいです。これを埋めていけばいいのか？記録簿にある現場検視記録用と書かれたピンク色の用紙をキムに見せる。
That's right.
死体からブーツを脱がせるか試す。
I thought we decided to leave it to processing. Let's not turn this into some kind of circus.
そっか、キムがいない時じゃないとダメだな。
Damn it. This is turning into some sort of mega puzzle.
まあ、今日の夜とか、その辺が狙い目だろうね。おい、死体聞きたいことがある。
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
まだ喋れんだ。大丈夫です。
Back later, Corporal. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
記録簿の現場検視のページを開く。
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts.
皮膚と臓器を3つのパートに分けて記述。詳述。
Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with,
長そうだね。1、アシスタント。
That's you.
ハリー・デュボアと書く。
the corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next box says,
2、殺人事件番号。
KK57-0803.0815.
なんかもう言われるがままだな。
Next.
名前。
NA. Next.
名前 NA。次は、誕生日。
NA.
NA。年齢。
Roughly 50.
50歳前後と書く。
the corpse looks ageless, like meat on a hook. Teeming with opportunistic microorganisms, letting out a foul-smelling diamine compound. Your eyes turn watery.
人種。
Mondial. Subgroup Occidental. As per your observation.
The pudgy mess looks neither mondial nor occidental. It doesn't even look human. The next line says,
性別。
Fucky fucky!
小さな怪物が力強い叫び声を上げる。
Male.
Pigs can have sex.
男性と書く。
nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
死亡日時。
We're still going with March 4th. 51. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
おい。
KK57 0503 0815 listens motionless, with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only one box remains.
死後の鑑賞形跡。
None. At least not after the initial examination.
死後の鑑賞ってのは具体的にどういうものだ？
Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem.
見つけられなかった。見つけられなかったイコール干渉はなかったって結びつけるのは、って感じはするけどね。だってあざだらけなわけでしょ 何か物を投げつけられてあざだらけなわけでしょ。まあ、いっか、確証はない。
A silent nod. The lieutenant places his gloved hand on the corpse's chest, as if in preparation.
うん。
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-Delorian burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform. Then, somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle. There is darkness in the shed. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Dawson. Hand extended, he approaches, to make sure she is dead more than anything else. And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today, 42 stations of breath.
We should start the postmortem.
検視を始めよ
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
う。外部検査。
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodin, I think. Let's see.
See, it's happening.
Babrodin, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavengers in order to get to the victim's ceramic armor. Officers are in search of the missing pieces. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
うん。もうブーツ取らないといけないんだもんな、私、タスク的に。
Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a map of the night sky. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene, using a Trigat Mini. The deceased has a cargo lashing belt around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age, about 50. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
次に進む前に死体の髪に触れる。なんで触れる
The hair under your latex fingers feels cold to touch, wet.
彼の髪を優しく撫でる。
The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to the latex of the glove, like thread off a red doll's head. There must be brilliantine in there. He's combed his hair back with oil.
うん。ヘアオイルについても追加して書き込む。
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs. Consistent with stones thrown post-mortem.
うん。
Low velocity.
Fucking low velocity. You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest. Consistent with predation.
え
Ligature mark.
うん。 キムは小さな折りたたみナイフを取り出す。片手でベルトを引っ張りながらポリエステル製の表面にナイフを入れていく。凄まじい腐臭が立つ。しばらくしてこのベルトはナイフでは切れないことが明らかになる。
The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
どっちでもよくないこれ。ゴム製グリップのチェーンカッター。チェーンカッターを撫でる。
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
何これこれはちょっと切断するのに適した場所を探す。
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the yeast. The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there. Steadiness.
ああ、よかった。
Like a flower arranger. 2 cuts and it should come loose.
72%。72% が確率高いと思えないんだよ、もう。でも行くしかないの。行きます。危な、少な。
Sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together, sweat forming on your brow.
力を込める。
Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from
1から 1.5 メートルの高さから落下して吊り下げられた。
Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia.
No! It's gonna happen, see!
I fucking knew it!
興奮してるな。
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
観察する？観察する。
The dead man's penis is average sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven,
特にか。OK。
hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish. Marbling is present around the crotch.
次。
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin. Last item, hands.
死体の手を持ち上げる。
The hand feels heavy, filled with decay liquids, like it's ready to explode if squeezed hard enough. You're suddenly repulsed, so much so you feel compelled to drop it.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling.
抵抗した後を探してたのか？
I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
内部、どうすんの内部って。
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
中枢神経について。
You don't even have a joke.
失敗だって。なんかもう失敗した。まあいいや。ない。不明と書き込む。
Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous. You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old house at night.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again, straight in that mouth of his.
どうしよう。もっと奥を覗いてみようか。
It's hard.
ああ、
Once more, you taste gum acid in the back of your throat. A contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your mouth. Inside, you see darkness. Just a mess of meat and darkness.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus.
体力が減ってしまった。
Hepatobiliary. NA.
いいのか、簡単に素通りして。
Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
違うと思
Neither am I.
う。なら不明だな。
That's it.
不明と書き込む。
Same for toxicology and serology. NA.
両方とも
Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there.
完璧主義の俺としてはまだできることがあると思うんだが。
Like a toxicologist training. At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if he was brimming with cocaine. But still, you should add a request.
不明毒物検査依頼と書き込む。
Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging. Gastrointestinal.
これがリストの最後の記入。
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
一丁上がりを省略して書き込む。
What's next on the list?
外傷状況。
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fills. Leave a 4th one too.
4つ目は開けておいてくれ。全部で4つあるんだね。
Be thorough if you want maximum results.
俺たちがつけた傷はどうなる？俺たちかな？俺かな？
Oh, so we inflicted them?
わかったよ。傷をつけたのは俺だ。
Okay, so there's a spin stabilized munition from a Kiel A990 muzzle
Kaku?
loader lodged in his lung. I don't think we should mention that. Better not to muddy the waters.
本当に？どうかな、もう現場は十分混乱してるからな。でも無責任じゃないか？
Be pedantic if you like, it doesn't matter. No one else is going to investigate this man's murder. And if they do, such details would only confuse them.
See? These pigs are fucking corrupt.
Why
Baretta.
don't you fuck him if you love him so much?
Now, injuries.
紙傷。
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted.
OK。
And your opinion, officer?
死後の損傷。
Agreed. Next injury?
打撲傷。
So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury. A stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
致命傷ではない。
Right. Next.
索状痕。
A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible. Think for a moment. There's time. Don't rush.
うん。もがいてないんだよな。あれ、致命傷ではないのか。
Why do you say that?
俺は本気だ。この外傷が彼の死因とは思えない。
Okay. Why don't you think it was fatal?
どうして被害者の両手は縛られなかった？こんな大男を公主団に連れて行くとき俺なら手を縛る。
Honestly, I'm not sure there weren't marks on his wrist. That part got blurry for me. The stench. But you are right, I was ready to call this. Now I think we should leave it empty, at least for the time being.
なるほど。
Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
あら、遺体袋か。うん。検視の成果はあったのか？
It was an irregular field autopsy. We did not establish cause of death, which is supposed to be the goal of an autopsy. But personally, I do not see this as a parameter for success. We also requested a toxicological screening. That was thorough. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks, if we are lucky.
2週間以内。
My breath. Then, given the state of decay here, I consider establishing the victim's ethnicity a minor success.
他には？
We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
よし。ちょっと褒められたような。褒められたような気もする。次は何を？
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg.
その検視用紙の控えをもらおう。それからフォーブールに車を飛ばして、用紙の下の複写紙を切り取って渡す。
For processing.
あとは処理班に任せる。キムは死んだ男を今一度見つめる。手に持ったピンク色の用紙を確認し、再び死体を眺める。
You tilt your head, also looking at the corpse.
お、もう一度死体を徹底的に調べ尽くす。調べ尽くそう。
Your arm reaches
Okay.
out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition.
いや、ギリ
It's
だよ。
dark all around. You feel cold, dead flesh through the latex glove.
私サイコロ
It's
弱いんだ
right
な。
under the palm of your hand.
これは何だ？
His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a rubber spider, your gloved hand crawls on his features. Everything is silent, all around.
彼の鼻の穴に這い進む。
They are swollen shut. You need to really push to get in.
鼻の穴に指を突っ込む。
Only the little one fits. The flesh changes shape as you bore in, searching for something in the cartilage.
The fuck is he doing?
The thing you're looking for, it's not there. Crawl out, spider.
彼の口の中に指を入れる。
The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop.
舌をもてあそぶ。これが正解だと感じる。
The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, fragile, even through the latex. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. Look in.
目を開けて中を覗く。
A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from his throat.
おお。
And there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate, you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius.
なんだって
Darkened.
見つけたぜという。
Keep going.
Kuno nods, too. He takes a step closer.
食うのどうして言ってない。話しかけてない食うの。指でそっと重曹に触れる。
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound.
指を中に入れる。
Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
The fuck is happening?
Ah, shit, see?
脳幹とは
Yes, that's what this part is called.
まずは中をまさぐってみる。
The basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex.
指を奥に押し込む。
Your yellow fingers slide into the remains of the limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres.
中に空洞がある。半球のちょうど真ん中だ。
The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper.
Fucking cavity, see?
さらに奥に押し込む。
Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow.
指をねじ込む。
Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly.
うわぁ、もう描写が描写がエグすぎるんだってさっきから。
As you push deeper until you feel it on the tip of your finger. Ice cold serrated metal. Its edges cut right
きた
through the
手
latex
手
and
さ
into
ば
your
き
fingers.
手さばきが役に立つぞ。氷のように冷たくギザギザした物体。鋭利な突端がゴムを貫通してお前の指に突き刺さる。中に固形物がある。頭蓋骨のすぐ内側だ。
Can you get to it?
うん。まず取り出そう。こっちを調べたがゆえに、こっちの確率が下がるということを避けたい。よし。引く。1と2だって。
You pick the object between your index and middle finger. It feels sharp, like metal. With your face twisting from pain and concentration, all you need to do is just...
捕まえたと囁く。
My pig's fucking got it?
食うのの豚じゃないって。
What? What is it?
ゆっくり指を引き抜く。
The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove. Sweat dripping down your brow. Careful not to lose the prize between your fingers. With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth. The garden glove is covered in blood right up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower, a blossom made of lead.
あったね。
Fucking beautiful!
A bullet.
The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says,
A non-caliber. Rifled. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact.
俺が預かってていいか？
Of course. You deserve it.
証拠品、潰れた銃弾。
We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion collar. Soft palate, back of mouth. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound?
何も言わずにただうなずく。
Opinion, fatal injury.
それ以外にないな。まだ確信が持てないっていう選択肢あるんだ。まあでもそれ以外にないな。
And one last thing. We can now fill in injury number 3. Ligament mark. Opinion non-fatal. Post-mortem. Treatment.
素晴らしい。
he's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact.
砕けた舌骨もすべて死後干渉でいいでしょう。
Yes, and the belt around his neck. The hanging. Even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead.
デッドダバドゥブドゥブ。何ですかこれ歌ですか？俺たちは結論を急ぎすぎてないかっていう問題を提起してみよう。
I have had this doubt since I inspected his hands, officer. There were no signs of struggle. No claw marks on his neck. Why? Why didn't he fight for his life? There have been other signs too. Small things. We were right not to assign hanging as cause of death, as the perpetrators expected we would. No such luck for them.
騙されないうちに銃弾を見つけろ。シークレットタスクでした。犯人は誰だ？
That's for us to find out. But this, it will make finding them just a little
そうね。どうして犯人はこんなことをする？
to hide something. The real killer? The real motivation? What really happened here?
俺は体を洗わなきゃダメだと思う。
Oh, you really, really do. I am glad to hear you say that.
タスク、
Your room in the world
刺繍を洗い流
should
せ
come。with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening.
夜に入ればいいのね。ということは、ワーリング・イン・ラグズ、ホテルに泊まんないといけないわけだね。やっぱりお金が、お金を稼がないと。銃弾が答えを教えてくれるかもしれない。
Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
次はどうする？
We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day.
単独行動、その間俺は何をすればいい？
Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this. I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
After you bag the corpse, Lieutenant Kitsuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You can do side tasks and even the main case, but it might be more difficult. plan his exit accordingly.
なるほどね。死体からブーツを脱がせるか。どうしようかな。これさ、移送させちゃうと、まあ、今日残りの時間単独で過ごすってのもあるけど、ブーツが取れないのよ。ブーツを脱がせるか試す。
I thought we decided to leave it to processing. Let's not turn this into some kind of circus.
Damn it. This is turning into some sort of mega puzzle.
明日か。夜中。今日は運び出さず、明日運んでもらって、今日の夜中にブーツを奪っておけば、とかね。ブーツ。プライバシーを確保してから利用しろ。どういうこと？そうだよね。遺体を送ってしまうと二度と取り戻すことはできない。つまりはブーツ。ワイルドパインズ。殺人？女性？ワイルドパインズの代表？女性だった。とりあえず一回立ち去ろう。あれ動けない。ああ、なるほどね。
Everything is calm in the eye of the race storm. Your mind is lucid and bright. The mind-bending phylogenetics appear more distant and, to be fair, a little ridiculous. The great race mystery has cleared up. All that's left to do is verbalize your thoughts. Go and talk to Measurehead about your newly found insights.
メジャーヘッドのあの思考をゲットした。習字学の学習上限が5に増加した。プラス1概念化。ほとんど美的な謎。まあ、デメリットはないね。割とデメリットがあるやつ。この辺マイナス1になってんのしんどいよね。レッドスキルチェックに失敗すると気力プラス1。うん。電気科学。お、銃弾ですね。着弾時に先端が潰れた銃弾。皮膚や肉や骨を貫くものというよりはおしゃれなジャケットのボタンに見える。インタラクト。
The bullet is safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp. Kim has filled out the label on the bag with the item number, case number, and date and location the bullet was found.
どうしてやろうかな、銃弾よ。
What?
どうしてやろうかな、銃弾よと言ったんだ。
Well, if I was the bullet, which I'm not, I would say find the weapon that shot me.
なるほどね。いい考えだ。
If we find who owns it, we will have likely found who used it, possibly to kill our victim.
ちょっと待ってくれ。私、拳銃をなくしているんだ。ち ちょっと雲行き怪しくなってきたな。私の銃使ってないよね。怖い。武器の所有者が見つかれば、それを使った人物も見つかるだろう。おそらくはあの被害者を殺すために使った人物だ。
In conclusion, the more we know about this bullet of yours, the better.
袋越しに銃弾に触れる。
The squashed bullet has some sharp edges where the jacket has split open. It feels cold, even through the bag.
銃弾を詳しく調べる。
The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish metal. It has blossomed out to reveal a dark grey core. The base of the bullet is close to 5 millimeters in diameter.
気候を見る。
You can just about make out a few striations near the base of the bullet. Little hairlines, linear. It feels standard.
規格品なんだね。弾芯はどうなってる？
It's quite destroyed. Some of the fragments are still lodged in the wound.
What can you say about the bullet so far?
気候弾だ。直径は5ミリほどだな。なんと俺はこいつを知っているぞ。これって嫌な予感が当たりそ
Yes, it's as if you've seen bullets before, officer.
う？気候弾だ。直径は5ミリほどだな。
A jacketed bullet. Okay. It would have been shot from a military-grade breech-loading rifle, not from a muzzle.
ライフルか。拳銃じゃない。
Streets of Martinez.
ちょっとホッとするね。
Even the RCM uses ordinary unjacketed conical bullets. This is strange. Very strange. I like this, officer.
でも RCM でも使ってんのか。
Unique means incriminating. We need to find the gun that shot it.
手と目の強調。14。14。66出しても勝てなくない？まあ、42% なの。42%? 本当に？ 6、6、あ、18になるのか。失礼。普通に足し算間違ってた。55、55でも勝てる。44でも勝てる。行こう。ド
You
ン
can't remember what happened last week. What makes you think you're going to remember arcane firearm model?
なんでだ？なんで1とか2が出るんだ、絶対。ああ。辛い。まあ、ちょっとしばらくしたらまた風呂。そうだね。あ、やっぱりコード解析を行うんだ。じゃあもうこれでしか、今失敗したスキルチェックで解析する以外このタスクをこなす方法はない。なんてこった。レベルアップできるぞ。狙撃手。狙撃手か。いや、でもこのためにレベル上げるのもな、まずここアンロックなんだろうな。内面か。あ、間違えた。ちょっと食うのと会話してみる？
Necromancer pig. That shit was dark. Going in there like that. Oh, brutal shit. Tell me.
あ、ちょっとはなんか尊敬された？
Kuno dies. You're gonna pick one out of his brain like that too? Kuno's gonna go out in a hail of bullets.
おお。
Gonna look like a fucking porcupine.
その前にマニャーナとアーマーについて話をした。
So?
へ 彼に豚をけしかけると約束したそうだな。
Yeah, so? Kuno did sick the pigs on him. Kuno's a man of his word.
Kuno sent your fat ass running around like jello.
Look, pig. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on.
このことは忘れないからな、クーノ。
You got fucked. You got fucked, pig. Fucked back. Of course you're gonna remember this. Now get the fuck out of here, griefing the Kuno. After this shit, you better have something real interesting to say if you want to stay in Kuno's face.
Yeah, real interesting.
う
The
ん。
fuck about it? You're testing Kuno's patience here.
Get lost.
これを、これもだな。五分五分。銃弾の摘出を見せたからプラ3になってるのはすごく助かるね。行きましょうか。
He's on your
なんで
crime scene,
1?
bossing you around.
な
And
んで
he's
1
been
な
here
の
some time too. This is where he hangs out. You have to get more out of him. He could be useful.
うん。なあ、クーノ。クーノはしばらく引っ込めてくれないか？普通の人間同士の会話をしよう。聞けよ、クーノ。そういう際どい遊びはお前には新鮮かもしれんが、俺たち大人はもう経験済みなんだ。クーノ、ここで石を投げてる間にいろんなことを見聞きしたろ？ RCM が犯人を逮捕するのに協力したくないか？これかな？上だな。
Trying to fuck at the Kuno. Trying to
Ah.
fuck at me. Trying to fuck. Kuno only gets higher. It's faster, faster, faster. Can't take the Kuno. Stay out of the reactor.
ダメだ。
Kuno gonna fuck you up.
Normal is not what we got here. You've got to work with what you have for now.
クーノー。なんか完了した？死体を下ろせか。うん。もう行くよ。
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
クーノー。もう。これ、そうだ。なんだっけ。ワイルドパインの責任者が女性？女性。女性だな。
The afternoon sun shimmers off the white on blue police livery of the motor carriage.
待て、なんで俺はこんなことを考えている？俺には。
Do something important? Something murder related? There's always something important. Doesn't mean you can't take a moment to admire this piece of machinery. Even at a standstill, the unibody Caprice Kanema looks sleek and dynamic. The cabin is tilted frontward to give it a more aggressive, hunched look. Someone has waxed it recently.
うん。あの車、これぞロコモーションって感じだ。実にクールだ。
Mm-hmm. You want to take a closer look?
これはなんだ？エンジンを指す。
130.
I reckon that's a 7-liter V12 there.
ってことは7リッターの V12 か。
7.2. Supercharged.
7じゃなくて 7.2 だって訂正された。俺を起こしやがった地獄の鳴き声みたいな音はどこから来てる？
You mean the coil noise?
Come on, you know how it works. Put it together.
つまり可変電流が電気系のコイルとその周辺の可動磁場を透過し、
He stares at you, intrigued.
下の方バカっぽいな、なんか。 電線がピーッとなってニーッとなるわけだ。それによって電線が振動して電流の周波数が過聴域に到達し、
The resulting vibration creates the whining sound. That's right.
う
Very
ん、
impressive.
驚いたな、だって。なかなかのマシンだ。滑らかなメタルの表面を撫でる。
Yes. An extraordinary machine.
あれこれ思考ゲットできるんじゃないの？これはなんだ？
130.
I reckon
Oh.
there's a 7-liter V12 there.
7.2. Supercharged. 130.
I reckon that's a 7-liter
口
V12.
笛を吹く。ママがすげえマカロニを用意してくれてるな。
You lost me there.
130kW って言ったら相当だぞ、キム。
The kinema is fast.
変わらん。
Feels right at home on the raised motor track.
変わらんです。
Hard to find something that could overtake it.
よし、行こう。あ、まだなんか？あー、来たか。
Kingdom of Conscience. The kingdom of conscience will be exactly as it is now. Moralists don't really have beliefs. Sometimes they stumble on one, like on a child's toy left on the carpet. The toy must be put away immediately, and the child reprimanded. Centrism isn't change, not even incremental change. It is control over yourself and the world. Exercise it. Look up at the sky, at the dark shapes of the coalition airships hanging there. Ask yourself, is there something sinister in moralism? And then answer, no. God is in his heaven. Everything is normal on earth.
ボーナス。学習上限が上がるだけか。論理主義的な会話。選択肢で気力プラス1。まあまあまあ。いいでしょう。さてどうしよっかな。13時ですね。お金もお金稼がないといけないんだよな。稼げないとどうなっちゃうのか。物を売るってことが質屋でできたらいいね。質屋にも行かなきゃいけないけど、ちょっと、まあ、一旦今回ここで区切りますか。はい。ではよろしければ次回もご覧ください。ご視聴ありがとうございました。